Thanks for joining us in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics from our amazing studios as always. And it's time for Keys to the Game. Thursday night football. Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Miami Dolphins, the only undefeated team in the American Football Conference. Who would have thunk that? 3-0. Maybe the Bengals can knock them down to 3-1. And after 4 weeks, no undefeated teams in the AFC. Pretty remarkable. Tells you what kind of a dogfight it's going to be, not only to win your division, but to be a wild card team to go to the playoffs. Wow. Every game is important. The Bengals coming off a victory. The Dolphins coming off 3 straight. How about the way they've won? And that's a key in this football game. Finish. That's I think maybe one of the biggest, if not the biggest key. Play 60 minutes, maybe 70 minutes, like he had to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. No lead is safe again with the Miami Dolphins. There's no question about that. You get up on them big, they don't care. They're going to play every single play. They're going to play till the final whistle. They're going to play till the final second comes off the clock. They proved that in Baltimore. Down 3 scores in the fourth quarter to come back and beat Baltimore on the road like that, it's huge. They're playing with a lot of confidence. So you have to go into this football game thinking, I have to finish every single block. I have to finish every single tackle. I have to finish every single play, every single drive. I have to finish every quarter. I have to finish both halves. I have to finish the game. You cannot take your foot off the gas against this football team whatsoever. I think another key to this game is hitting receivers in stride. Both of these quarterbacks are AA quarterbacks. They throw with anticipation and they throw with extreme accuracy. And if they hit their receivers in full stride, these guys can fly. We know the Bengals have some team speed, but the Miami Dolphins, it's almost like an Olympic relay team when you talk about Hill and Waddle. And Tua does a good job of hitting those guys in stride. So yards after catch, run after catch. If you track that stat, somehow you can figure out a way, all right, caught the ball at the 19-yard line and picked up 15 more yards to the 34. I mean, how is that going to add up during the course of the game? Talk about hidden yards all the time in terms of field position and starting drive at the 20-yard line or whatever, or inside the 50-yard line, short field position. How about yards after catch, run after catch, hidden yards? Which quarterback is going to do a better job of allowing their receivers or running backs or tight ends, whatever the case may be, to do something after the play, after the reception of the football? The play is going to continue. There's no doubt. Along those lines as well, both teams have 2 number 1 receivers. I mean, you got a situation where Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, both number 1s. Hill, Waddle, both number 1s. It's double the fun, double the pleasure, double the fun. These guys can get it done. Which team minimizes or eliminates explosives? Which defense can get that done? You got to keep everything in front of you when you're talking about dealing with these type of receivers. So which team will be able to minimize the explosive, minimize the big plays? You don't want a one-play drive. You don't want the ball thrown over your head. Both defensive coordinators are going to look at that first and foremost. With that said, playing into that receiver position, which tight end will step up? Mike Gesicki is a very, very talented player, 6'6", 250 pounds. He's got size. He's got speed. He's got athleticism. Hayden Hurst, we've seen what he can do. He's got a size-speed ratio that's outstanding as well. Both of these guys have great skill sets. Now, Hayden Hurst is battling a little bit of a groin issue. How much will that hamper him? But with the defenders having to deal with these 2 receivers, tandem of receivers, and then trio of receivers with the Cincinnati Bengals, Tyler Boyd, at some point, Hayden Hurst is going to have a breakout game. Gesicki has done a great job for the Miami Dolphins on 3rd down and in the red zone. He's a proven commodity in both of those areas. Will Hayden Hurst step up for the Bengals on 3rd down and in the red zone as well? Ball security is always a huge issue. There's no question about that. The Dolphins in the first 3 games, they only have 2 giveaways. They haven't fumbled the football. They haven't lost any fumbles. They got 2 interceptions, so they don't beat themselves. They wait for the opponent to make mistakes. And then they capitalized. The Miami Dolphins are very, very opportunistic. There is no question about it. When a big play opportunity presents itself in this football game, you have to get after it. You have to be aggressive. Got to dominate the ground game. I'll tell you, I thought it was a good drive toward the end of the football game when the Bengals went big. They put an extra offensive lineman in. They had tight ends in the game. Put the big boy pads on. They were between the hash marks, nothing fancy, just came off the ball and hammered people. Samaje Perine squared his pads up, lowered his shoulder pads, ran behind his pads, just north and south. Don't overcomplicate it. Make one decision and go with it. And they ran the ball pretty darn well. A 12-play drive. They ran it 8 times. They had the ball for about 8 minutes. They missed a 41-yard field goal, but I think it was encouraging that they just ground and pound kind of thing. And hopefully that'll carry over. They'll be able to run the football pretty well against the Miami Dolphins. On the other side of things, the Miami Dolphins ground game is something the Bengals have seen. They're very familiar with. It's all from the Shanahan tree. McDaniel was with Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan, the Bengals played last year. The 49ers ground game is as good as there is in the National Football League. The Bengals did a decent job defending the 49ers ground game. They could have done a little bit better. McDaniel has a lot of the same type of wrinkles in that running game with the Dolphins. They saw it last week as well. LaFleur with the Jets, 49ers tree as well with the Shanahan tree. That running game, very similar to what the 49ers try to do. So back-to-back weeks, particularly with a short week, you defended and game planned against the Jets running game, which is very similar to what the Miami Dolphins are trying to do, which is very similar to the 49ers. So the Bengals have some familiarity, and they've got players that have been part of it last year and this year, 49ers last year, and the back-to-back run game teams they've tried to defend this year have some kind of common denominator going in terms of what their responsibilities are and how to get it done. I think it's going to be very important that the Bengals defend the run, because don't let Tua play action pass, the zone read, and all that sort of thing is going to be a big deal. The RPO, the run pass option, Tua coming down the line of scrimmage, faking the football, play action pass off of it. If you let that running game get established, you're in trouble. And then if they get the RPOs going and then have Tua play action pass or be in the pocket and can set his feet, a real problem. I think the Bengals have done a pretty good job in the first 2 weeks, most specifically last week against the Jets, not letting Joe Flacco set his feet. I mean, he had some happy feet going. He was never real firm in the pocket, never had a platform established that he was working off of where he could go through his mechanics and throw the ball fluidly and easily. Can't let Tua do that. Tua will kill you with his accuracy. He is deadly accurate when you let him set his feet, go through his mechanics, follow through, throw the football. Can't allow that to happen. Which offense is going to be able to be the most efficient? Can't go backwards. No more negative plays. No more tackles for loss. No more quarterback sacks. Avoid the negative plays. Avoid the penalties. Avoid being in second and third and long. Stay on schedule. That is going to be massive in this football game. Which team will be able to do it best will get a huge leg up in the outcome of this one. The Miami Dolphins defense was on the field for 90 snaps in 100-degree heat index. Any fatigue, any carryover there? We shall see. I mean, there has to be something. There's no doubt about it. On a short week, can Miami continue to handle the success? They have a big comeback win on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. You think, potential letdown. You know, can they do it again? I mean, can the Miami Dolphins pull it off again? Well, Buffalo, a big division rival, comes to Miami, and the Buffalo Bills out-statistic them 2-1 in almost every significant category, but lose the football game. So Miami handled the success of the Baltimore come-from-behind win. I think a division rival who's the Super Bowl favorite had something to do with that. They were able to handle success and stacked 2 good wins together on back-to-back weeks. Will they have a little letdown against the Bengals? Okay, handle Baltimore. Handle the big division rival, Buffalo. Sports psychology says maybe you're right for a little bit of a letdown. Maybe there's it's setting up that way. We'll see. If the Bengals can jump on them right away, can jump on them early, that would definitely help the cause before the Miami Dolphins realize what's happening. The Bengals are up on them, but like we've seen, you have to continue to play the football game because they're not going to fold their tent. They're not going to give in. Finally, the biggest thing, short week tests. Are you a pro or you're not a pro? It's time to be a pro. Handle the short week with proper rest, proper recovery. Don't be out celebrating a big win. Both teams coming off a win. Don't be catting at night. Make sure you get yourself to bed at a reasonable hour. Eat right. Maintain your strength and conditioning workouts. Proper fitness is going to be a big deal. Short week is definitely a test from the mental preparation side of it. You're trying to combine 5 days of prep into 3, and it's very difficult. So on Monday, the Bengals installed first, second, third down, all in the same day. First and second down normally is 1 day of installation. Third down is its own separate day. That's all combined in a short week like this. And then on Tuesday, the Bengals had to install short yardage, goal line, and red zone. Normally you have Thursday and Friday to install all that. Then you have Saturday to polish it off. So this week it's all installed on Monday and Tuesday. Then you have Wednesday to polish it and maybe put some wrinkles in. In other words, everything is condensed. There's a lot of information coming your way in a short period of time. The coaches have to be smart about how much they give the players. You can't overload them mentally. Keep it simple. Have a core number of plays that you know is going to work against any look that the Miami Dolphins are going to give you offensively or defensively. All of that is going to be a big, big deal in this football game. So those are some of the keys to the game. Honestly, the biggest key to the game is you, the fans. It's a home game. You have home field advantage. Make it where Tua and company can't hear. They can't hear themselves think. It's going to be a whiteout. Team's going to come out in the white helmets, white jerseys, white pants, clean, crisp. Look, it's going to be phenomenal. Get juiced up. The emotions are going to be high. It's going to be the place to be on Thursday night. So support your home team. Bengals have been in many, many hostile environments, many tough stadiums. Let's make Paycor be a hostile environment. Make the Dolphins pay for coming to Paycor Stadium. How about that? And also, if you like what you're seeing and hearing, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We need each and every one of you. Hopefully, we're providing you with content that you enjoy. We certainly do enjoy your feedback. Keep it coming.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right. You know,
gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.